And up next here, Phil Rowe versus Jake Matthews. Really don't like this fight. Two flakes to me. Two guys who are really untrustworthy. But Phil Rowe, he couldn't pass the Neil Magny test last June. He dropped a close split decision to the veteran. And it's been almost a year since that fight. So Rowe's had some time to lick his wounds, get back to the drawing board, try to come back strong here. And he has Jake Matthews in front of him. And this kind of Rowe's chance to look good and get another crack at the top 15. He's 33 years old, so he should be relatively in his prime, and the time to make a run is now. Jake Matthews, he's been in the UFC forever, but he's still only 29 years old and kind of has been up and down, winning a fight, losing a fight since 2020. His last fight he lost to Michael Morales, so you'd think he's due for a win here. He hasn't lost two in a row since 2016. So going to be looking to bounce back. And this is going to be his 20th UFC fight. So Matthews, very experienced guy. But I just don't like this fight. Phil Rowe, he's a guy that's never won a decision. I think he's 0-4 or 0-3 in decisions or something like that. And you could tell from watching a fight. I mean, the guy just doesn't have a lot of urgency. Very composed fighter. Someone that does a good job of, even when he's hurt, it seems like he's a slow starter. He has to get hit early, take damage, and then come back. But even when he gets rocked, gets hurt, he's good at surviving, staying calm, and then getting back into the fight. And he's decent everywhere. I mean, the guy is hittable and kind of awkward striking style, but when he lets his hands go, he has really crispy hands. He has power. He throws 1-2s, throws nice 1-2-3 combinations. That left hook he has is pretty nasty. And his length is something that is a big factor. And Jake Matthews has struggled with long fighters, guys with good reach advantages over him. So that's something that Phil Rowe does have. And basically, Rowe, it's like he's losing the majority of his fights the entire time, and then he unleashes one of these big combos. He could rock his opponent, finish him with one shot. And if guys come in there with the wrestling game plan on Rowe almost lets him take him down early. Seems like his wrestling defense has gotten a little bit better more recently, but usually he doesn't have the best takedown defense. But he has a good guard. He does a lot of jiu-jitsu competitions and definitely works a lot in his grappling. He trains with Fusion XL, which is a high-level grappling gym. And he can nullify a lot of stuff with his guard. He's gotten some guard submissions over some lower-level fighters. But he can lose fights off of his back. But also, if guys take him down, and he kind of mitigates the damage and extends the fight, they could get tired, shoot a sloppy shot. That's where you see Phil Rowe maybe snatch a front choke or get that finish with his hands down the stretch on a tired guy. So Rowe's basically a guy that comes very composed and is an opportunistic finisher when he sees his moment. He's athletic, has power, and he has a submission threat. But if he doesn't get that finish, it's going to be a frustrating night for anyone that backs him, because Jake Matthews could just go in there, pressure him, take him down for 3 rounds, lay on him. Phil Rowe could not get the submission off, and Jake Matthews gets the win. Or Jake Matthews could walk him down, throw more volume on the feet, land leg kicks, and get the win that way. So I feel like it's a close money line for a reason. Jake Matthews, I just can't trust him to get takedowns, man. The guy has not been wrestling in his recent fights. He hasn't gotten more than one takedown in a fight in a long time. So I feel like if he comes in here with a more striking game plan with Rowe's eventually going to catch him with a big shot. And Jake Matthews is pretty durable. I mean, the guy doesn't really get finished with strikes. So I feel like he might get rocked and then jump into a submission. Or maybe even Phil Rowe could get his first decision win here. But it's a pass for me. I see people are confident in Rowe as the underdog, but for me, I just don't have a lot of interest in this one.